Okay, minasan, konnichiwa, Samurai Engineer desu. So, in this live lecture, we will review necessary materials for our final exam. So, let us proceed, but before we start, let's confirm the sound quality. Okay, let's proceed with the review. So we'll have the first module for the review. We'll take the topics of the elements, the required elements for mechatronics. So, number one, question, where and when was the word mechatronics invented? Letter A, Japan 1960, letter B, Japan 1980, letter C, Europe 1960, letter D, Europe 1980. The word mechatronics was first used in Japan in late 1960s. It spread through Europe and now commonly used in all other parts of the world. In the 1980s, there was a veritable explosion in microprocessor-based products. Okay, so therefore, 1960, okay, Japan, letter A. Number two, servo motor is a typical example of blank. A, electronic system, B, mechanical system, C, computer system, D, mechatronic system. Okay, what do you think? A servo motor is a typical example of a mechatronic system. It is a motor with sensory feedback, okay, sensor, So, as a feedback, and because of this, it is used for obtaining very complex and precise motion. Okay? So, the answer is letter D. Number 3, what is the function of an input signal conditioning unit? A, to produce control signal. B, to amplify the signal and convert it into digital form. C, to perform mechanical work. D, to produce electrical signals. Okay. Input signal conditioning devices amplify signals, converts them into digital form, and supplies the conditioned input signal to digital control. So, for example, usually the controller is digital, meaning microprocessor-based controller, just like Arduino. Okay, and therefore the answer to this is letter B. Okay, mechanical actuators perform mechanical work. Electrical signals are produced by input sensor. So, letter B is the correct answer. Okay, please confirm if our sound is clear enough for you to hear. Number 4. The main mechanical components of a servo motor are stator and rotor. A, true. B, false. What do you think? The main mechanical components of a servo motor are stator and rotor. The electrical components composed of field windings and rotor windings. Circuitry for power transmission. Therefore, the answer to this is letter A. Please listen because some of these may be included or will be included in the exam. We will have the final exam tomorrow. Okay? So I will just post so that I could get your time. Okay? So I will post if we have the final exam face-to-face or just online on our GC. I will post. Okay. Number 5, the main function of an actuator is blank. A, to produce motion. B, detect input. C, detect output. Letter D, detect state of the system. Okay. So the answer to this is the actuators produce motion and cause some actions, whereas sensors detect the state of the system, parameters, inputs, and outputs. So therefore, the answer to this is letter A. So, actuator produce motion. Number 6. An example of a standalone system is blank. A, machining center. B, washing machine. C, robots for parts handling. D, automated inspection stations. Okay, so this is a tricky question. An example of a standalone system is a washing machine. Okay. Machining centers, robots for handling parts, automated inspection systems are large factory systems. Okay. So, mechatronics system could be what? Very small application that is automated also. No? So, automatic application. Like washing machine. It's an automatic. Okay. Application. Those washing machine that are with sensor. So actually washing machine has pH sensor. So those washing machines that without sensor, I'm not talking about that. for example, only with timer. So if you set the timer, it will stop after some time. Your set time. Okay? So that is not a mechatronic system. Okay? And number 7, which among the following carry out the overall control of a system? A. Graphical display. B. Sensors. C. Actuators. D. Digital controls. The overall control of a system is carried out by digital controls. Graphical display provides visual feedback. Okay? The actuators produce motion and cause some actions, whereas sensors detect the state of the system parameters, inputs, and outputs. So the answer is letter D. Number 8, a humanoid robot is an example of blank. A. Artificial intelligence. B. Standalone system. C. Large factory systems. D. High-level distributed sensor microcontroller actuator. A humanoid robot, just like as you can see on your screen, this is a humanoid robot. Okay? So a robot in the shape and size of a human being. That is a humanoid robot. It is an example of a system that incorporates intelligent control or artificial intelligence. An example of a standalone system is washing machine, again, whereas wire aircraft and automated inspection stations are examples of high-level distributed sensor and large factory systems, respectively. So the answer is A. Number 9, where is the feedback generated by the sensors in a mechatronic system? Given A. Input sensors. B. Comparators. C. Mechanical actuators. D. Output sensors. The feedback signal is given to comparator. That is what we call comparator because it compares the settings to the actual value. Okay, setting of some variable, for example, pressure. Set pressure versus the actual pressure being measured by the sensor. So the component that compares that is what we call comparator. Okay? So the answer is letter B. And number 10, a mechatronic system contains feedback. Letter A, true. Letter B, false. Okay? A feedback signal are generated by sensors of mechatronic systems given to comparators to produce an error signal if any. Okay, so this is true. So if we have a timer, it will not give us feedback. Okay? So control of stepper motor, you don't need a feedback. But control of a servo motor, we have a feedback. So if you need to have a mechatronic system using stepper motor that do not have a feedback, you need a sensor to sense the motion of the stepper motor. Okay? So in that way, even though it is not internal to the motor, so you can still have a feedback by sensing the actual location or position of the motor rotation. Okay, so again, that's all. This is your Professor Dr. AP, preaching engineering for nation building. Okay, we will See you on the next module. We have about 10 modules for review today so that you are prepared for final exam tomorrow. Okay, see you on the next module. But I think we will have a break time so that you can fill up the monitoring, evaluation, something. Okay? So, see you on the next live stream.